Hi, folks. How are you all doing today? Today we're going to start off with CSS. Okay. We've started with web development, right? We understood what is HTML and what is CSS and how to use JavaScript, right? And also we understood few things on HTML, like how to use few basic tags and all, right? So that is not all in HTML, right? So we just understood few basic tags, okay? But not only writing tags or creating the content is important on a web page, right? So it is equally important that you style each element or every element properly. Okay, so that's why I'm coming up with CSS today, right? So for you to understand how to style your CSS elements, so that right after this session, right, we can start off using both HTML and CSS simultaneously together, so that we can create web page, not only creating that, but also we can style that page, correct? So that there will be few things, or there are few things which needs style part also, right? So then you definitely have to understand about CSS. Without that, we can't really move ahead and create pages, right? How far can we create without style and all, right? So only creating the content is not that interesting, of course, right? So that's why I just thought of let's start CSS. CSS is not that hard, okay? It's very simple. We can actually do this in one day also, right? So in this session today, I'll make sure that you understand what is CSS, and I will also make sure that you can use it, how to write the properties and values, how to use it for classes and IDs. So all these basic things, if you're understanding the syntax of it, that's it. The rest of it we can actually do while we are doing the projects also. Okay, so that's why today we are mainly focusing upon CSS only, right? And we'll understand how to write the syntax and all. Okay, today we'll use all the elements which we have created in our previous sessions also, and we'll start off styling those elements with few attributes and values. Okay, so let's check it out. Yeah, let's quickly get started without wasting any more time, right? So before that, I would also like to tell you all guys that please do share videos, right? And make it possible that it reaches almost every student who actually needs coding education, right? Who has a right. Definitely, everyone. This is a must-have skill, right? Everyone needs it in this era, correct? So yes, to share all my videos, okay. And if you have not been watching, and if you're for the first time here, so please go back to my channel, Folks Hub. There are so many videos, and I'm almost reaching my 50 videos mark soon, and I'm so happy about it that I could do it so far, and I must do it. So long and long and long. Okay, so yeah, I would definitely take it forward, and I will definitely make sure that I can give you 100% of what I can give you, right? So yes, let's get started with today's session, which is CSS, right? CSS, we all know, HTML, hypertext markup language, which is used for creating the web content, right? And CSS, right? Cascading style sheet. The name itself suggesting cascading style sheet means for styling the web page. Okay, so yes, this is for styling your web page, right? So this is a style sheet which you're creating, correct? And once you're creating one CSS file, you can use the same for multiple HTML files also. Okay, it's not necessarily that you will create this CSS file and you are only using it for one of the HTML file. Not at all. Okay, you can use the same CSS for multiple HTML files, maybe 100, 200, how many ever you have, right? So it's always like one style sheet is almost enough for styling all your contents in the web page. Okay, so that's why CSS is very much important, and writing a different file or a separate file for it is pretty much needed. Okay, because if you're writing the style inside the HTML itself, what happens, that style will be applicable only for this web page, right? You can't really apply the same style in the other one, correct? That means again you have to write the code for it. So that uh, this is like you're wasting your time and energy writing the code, correct? If you're creating one style sheet and if you're using up in all your files, that would be so great, isn't it? So you're not wasting your time, and you're actually following the principle called as dry. Okay, so what is dry principle is, don't repeat yourself. Okay, so if you're not repeating yourself, that means you're a good programmer. Not only being a good programmer, and you're writing your code effectively and efficiently. Okay, so yes, we have to follow this dry principle while writing the codes. Don't repeat yourself, right? So yeah, let's quickly start off with the web page, right? So I'm just creating few elements so that I can style these elements, I can show you. Okay, so first let's write p tag. We know how to write opening and closing tags now, right? If anyone has not seen my previous videos of web development, please do go back and watch all of them, so that you'll get a better idea of how to write tags and what are tags, etc. Right? So sample page. Okay. If you want, you can actually write IDs also. I'll do one thing, I'll not write ID for this thing. Okay. So now I'll write a heading also. Okay. H1. This is a heading. All right. Inside this, I'll write this is a paragraph. Then, then let's create input. Maybe I'm just writing a label first. Okay. Okay. Then write input. We know input doesn't really have a closing tag, right? So be careful while using this thing, right? So I'll just write type. Let's use text, then name. Mm, I'm just writing input one. Okay. So let's write ID also for this. ID INP1. Okay. So yeah. Now let's write ID for this label. ID LB1. And let's create what type of element shall we create? Okay, here for p tag also I'll write one ID. Okay, ID is para. Now we have these elements and we know how to break the line, right? Using break tag, we'll do this. If you have not been watching my previous videos, please do go back and watch it so that you will understand whatever I'm writing here. Okay. So all these tags we have learned in our previous sessions itself, right? So yeah, this is all. Now, so in CSS again, now there are three things which you have to understand. Like three types of CSS can be written. Okay, so first one is inline CSS. Okay, first one is inline CSS. Okay, and the next second one is internal CSS. Okay, internal CSS, right? And last third type of CSS is external CSS. Okay. So these are the three things which you have to keep in mind while writing CSS, right? So which one has the highest priority? Inline CSS has the highest priority. If you are writing so many CSS and you have multiple same kind of tags which you are using, let's suppose for the same p tag you're giving two styles or three styles, let's suppose, right? So which CSS style will be applicable? Inline CSS will be the first one which is applicable, then internal, then external. Okay. So what is inline CSS? What is internal CSS? And what is external CSS? Okay. First one, inline CSS is nothing but, as the name itself suggests, or it is self-explanatory, that it is written within line, right? That means within the tag, if you're writing the style, okay, attribute style, that becomes inline CSS. Okay. So within the line, we are styling that particular element. Okay. Then what is internal CSS then? Internal CSS is nothing but if you're writing it within the HTML page itself. Okay. That becomes the internal CSS, right? When you have less style, or this is a very small web page and you can style it in the same HTML page itself, then you might use internal CSS also. Okay. But if you feel like this style can be reused again and again multiple times, then you'll create a external CSS file like this. Okay. Here I wrote style.css and this is another file here, right? That means this is the external CSS which I am using and I'm linking it with my HTML page. Okay. External CSS have to be linked to your HTML page because they are written outside the HTML, right? So this is about the three CSS things. So inline CSS, within the line itself, you will style the element. Internal CSS, within the HTML page, you will write it. External CSS, outside the HTML page, you will be writing it. Okay. So this is all. Let's start off writing the inline CSS first. Okay. So for H1, I'm writing inline CSS. So while writing inline CSS, you have to make sure that you're writing the style attribute, right? So whatever you write within the opening tag will be attribute and then the value, right? So you can say, yeah, property and the value, that you can actually say it like that. So style is the attribute, and after the attribute you will put equal to symbol, then within double quotes you have to write the value. Okay. So now what I'm writing is, here I will just give the color for this. Okay. So to give color, so you have to change the, I mean, I want to change the text color of it. Okay. So text color means you'll just write color, put a colon symbol, then give space, right? I'm writing it within single quotes here. Okay. So let's give it blue color. All right. So yes, it's not turning blue. Let's do it something like this. I will write the style tag. There's a style tag to write internal CSS basically. Okay. So let's write style tag. Within this, I am styling it for H1, right? So H1. So you'll write the tag name when you want to style it. Okay. So I want to style H1 tag. So I'm writing tag name here. Open curly braces, and within the curly braces itself, you will have to start writing the attribute colon value. Okay. So what is the attribute here? The attribute is color. So let's just use aqua colon. You can see it is changing here, right? So why not it is changing over here? Okay. I wrote this in quotes. That's the reason. Oh yeah. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I wrote it in quotes. Okay. You can see this style color blue, right? I told you if you have multiple styles for the same element, it would consider, or it would give the priority for inline CSS, right? You can see here it is giving the priority for inline CSS itself. Okay. Let's suppose I have another h1 tag here. Okay, so I'm writing another h1 tag, and for this I'll say this is a second heading. You can see now this is in a different color, right? This sorry, this complete thing is in a different color now. Why? Because this is applied from the style, right? So if you have a specific style for the element, that specific style itself will be applied to that element. Okay. For this heading tag, I have a specific style called as color blue. Okay. That's why it is applying that. Okay. And for this h1 element, I do not have any style written in inline, correct? But internally I have a style called as h1, correct? So that's why that is getting applied. Okay, so this is how the inline and internal css work, right? So this is internal css. Within the style tags you write it, and on the head you will be writing it. Okay, and then this is inline css, right? Your style, using the style attribute, you're giving the value. Let's suppose not only color, you wanna say font family also. Then font hyphen family. Okay, so I will just write cursive. Cursive. You can see it is changing the style now. Okay, it is in cursive. Okay, so this is the cursive style. Don't feel like cursive means it has to do something else. Okay, this is cursive style itself. Okay, now I will show you for this one. So let's write font family. Okay, so you have cursive, fantasy, and inherit, monospace, sans serif, and serif. Only these styles are available within HTML. If you want to add more styles, okay, what you can do is you can get it from Google Fonts. There are other methods you can do it, right? So here in code.org, I don't think we can add any other link here. Okay, so but yeah, I will show you. For now we are just thinking of a basic thing, right? So let's just choose monospace. You can see this is the monospace style. Okay, so this is how it is. And CSS syntax is just simple like this, right? There's nothing in it. Okay, you'll just write the tag name whichever you want to style, or if you want to style ID, you will write it here, or if you want to style a class, you will write it here. Okay, then you'll just open curly braces. Within that, first property name you'll have to write, then put a colon symbol, then write the value of it, lastly put a semicolon symbol. That's it. Okay, everything in css will be same like this, right? No change, no much change will be there. Okay, so now let's suppose I'm giving a class here. Instead of id, I'll just write class here. Okay, then I will tell you what is class and then what are ids, right? So now id is nothing but something which is uniquely identifying that particular element. In the last session also we have discussed about this, right? So id is always a unique thing for any element, right? I can't use this para id for label or input or any other tag which I am creating. Okay, so even if I write p1 here, whatever it is, whatever the id is, so that id will only remain for this p element only. It doesn't apply for the other p element also. Okay, so that's how the ids work. And class is not like this. So let's suppose I want to create another input tag. I can absolutely do that. Okay. And there's no restriction. If you are writing one class name here, you can't use it here. It's nothing like that. Okay. You can use same classes, and there is no restriction. Okay. So, yeah, this is how it is. Right. Now, now let's just style the id. You understood about inline css, right? So now I'm writing the internal css here. Okay, so what is that? I will style the id para. So to style your ids, to style tags, you will write the tag name itself, right? But to style ids, that means specific p tag if you want to style. So how will you do that? When you are using the id to style the element, so you will use hashtag para. Okay, then curly brackets. So hashtag para, that means that you're styling the id here. Okay, so let's give color again. Color, let's choose blue violet. You can see the blue violet color is getting applied here, right? So this is how simple it is. Let's write font So let's write font style italic. Yeah, it is in italic now. Okay. Then font weight, let's write font weight. Yeah. So this is for bold and all, right? Font weight is for bold and all. So I'm writing bold. You can see this is becoming bold. Okay. So likewise, how many ever properties you want, you can write those many properties, and you can write the appropriate values for each and every property. Okay. So this is the property. This is value. This is the ID which you are styling, right? So then we have class also here, right? How to style classes then? So I'm just clicking on enter. To style classes, you use dot, okay? Then the class name inp1, then curly brackets and enter. That's it. You can start off styling here, right? So let's style the same way. Control C and control V. Okay. So instead of writing blue violet, let's write lime. Okay. Lime green. Then font style italic, font weight bold, let it be like this, right? So I'll click on it and I will start writing something. So I'll write Folks Hub. You can see you're getting the lime green color. The style is in italic and the font weight is bold. It is in bold. Okay. So not only for this particular input, it is getting applied. For this also, it will get applied. Okay. See, Folks Hub, same thing. Both are same, right? So if you want to give same style for all the elements which are present in the HTML page, you will use class for it, and you will style that same class here. Okay. So when you use class, what happens is you can use the same class name for multiple tags or elements. Okay. That's why it's very simple for styling the element. So you use IDs for styling a specific element, right? So uniquely, if you want to specify the style for one element only, then you'll be using ID, right? And if you want to apply same style for all the tags or all the elements, let's suppose, then you can use classes, right? So not only this class inp1 can be written for inputs itself, right? You can write it for label also. I'll do the same thing here. Okay. I will write class and I will say INP1. See, the same style is getting applied here. Color, font style, font weight, everything is same now. Okay. So this is how it is, right? You can't, you need not give classes for the same type of elements. Instead, you can give it for any HTML element possible. Okay. So so classes are very flexible basically, and they can be repeatedly used. But IDs, I can't write the same ID in the label saying para. Okay. Because IDs are always unique. ID itself is a unique thing, right? So you will have your class ID in school, correct? So that same ID will never be given to any other person because it will have your photograph and your name and your class, correct? So same way here also IDs cannot be shared. Okay, you can't give the same ID for others, but classes can always be shared because in one class you have multiple students, right? Same way. Okay, I know it's a very silly example, but yes, this works here. Correct, it is working the same way, right? Okay, so this is about the internal CSS and inline CSS. Okay, now, not only inline and internal, we also had external CSS, right? So let's start writing that. Okay. Oh, wow. You can see already some of the CSS is written by default for you. Okay. So you can see the P tag already has color black, H1 has font weight bold. Okay. So, and body has background white. Let's suppose, let's change it. Instead of white, let's give pink. Wow, you got it. Okay. So you can write text alignment here. So text hyphen align center. Okay. So it should align the complete text into center, but this is not doing it. Yeah, it's doing it. Okay. So we just have to click on refresh sometimes for making it work, right? Okay, text alignment is working now. What is the next thing we can write? for all the elements in common, if you want to do something, you can absolutely do that. So for p tag, let's write font size also. Okay, font hyphen size you can do. Font size, let's suppose 20 pixels. 20 px is nothing but 20 pixels. Okay, so you can see this is 20 pixel size, right? Px means pixels. Okay, label, for label also you can give. Let's suppose now I am writing font size here also. Okay, for the complete body, this will be given. So font size, I'll write 40 pixels just for suppose. You can see for all the elements here for H1 set is applied, right? And for this one it is not applying that. Okay, why is that so? Why is that not getting applied to paragraph? Because for paragraph we specified that. For H1 I did not specify any, so body thing will be applied. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so if you're not applying any specific style in the H1, but yes, for body, if you're applying something, that will be completely applied to all the elements, right? So wherever possible, it will apply that thing. Okay. So now let's remove this one. And what else can be done? So all these are properties on the left. Then you'll put a colon symbol and then you'll write the values for it. Okay, so we understood the background property for giving the background color. You have background hyphen color also to give the background color. Text align to align your complete elements, okay, into center, left, right, whatever you want you can give. Then we understood color property. Color means it's the text color you are giving here. Okay. Font size will apply for the font size. Then font weight to make it bolder, something like that. And we understood font family for giving the style. Font style, italic, normal, oblique was there, no? So you can apply these. Um, and then for every element, let's suppose for H1 element, you want to give background color. So background hyphen color, you can say. So let's just give for H1, right? Blanched almond. You can see the blanched almond thing is applied, right? And this is how background color works. Okay, and you can also use borders basically, right? So let me just give borders for INP1, or I'll just write input tag. For all the input tags, if you want to apply some style, you can just write input also. Okay, so then for this input, I will write border. First, I'll write width. Okay, I'll change the width of the input. So width, let's write 300 pixels. You can see the input size is increasing now. Okay, not only width, you can also give height, let's suppose 35 pixels. Okay, it's bigger, right? Let's write 30. Ah, this is good. Now now let's write border. So border, if I write border, this is a cumulative property here. Okay, that means you can write thickness, or thickness here. You can write style, border style here. You can also give the color. All three things in one single thing you can give. Okay, let's suppose I want 3 pixel border, so 3 pixel space. Solid border, let's suppose, so solid border. And color is it's already giving green color by default because I gave the color, right? So if you want, you can change this. So I'm giving red here. You can see red color is coming, right? So this is how it is. Okay. So this is a cumulative property. Let's suppose you don't want to write like this. I'm just commenting it here using two forward slashes. Okay. So let's write border hyphen width. You can write individual properties also. Okay. 3 pixels. Border width. Border style. Border hyphen style. Border style, you have these values: dash, dotted, double, groove, hidden, inherit, inset, outset, ridge, solid. Ridge border will be like a 3D border. Okay. Border style will not apply until and unless you give border color. So let's first give border color here. Border color. Okay. Just giving green, dark green. Okay. So border style ridge. You can see it is getting applied over here. Okay. This is the ridge border. Let's say I will write 10 pixels so that you can see the ridge thing, right? So this is how like it's like a 3D effect you get on the ridge borders. Okay. So then now, so then this is like I'm giving individual things, right? But if you just write border and write all three things together, that will also apply the same thing. Okay, we just now saw that, and then we can also give border radius basically. So I'll write border radius also. Border radius. Border radius. Let's suppose I'll write 5 pixels. Sorry, 5 pixels. You can see 5 pixel. That means there are curvy edges now. Okay, they're not anymore sharp, right? So if I write 50 pixels, they became curved, correct? So this is how it works. Okay, and yeah, this is about the basic styling of your web page, how to write properties and values. Okay. So there are so many properties, not only these, like there are so many. Okay. So it's not pretty much possible for me to explain all the properties in one single session like this, right? But I hope you understood the CSS syntax, right? How to write it for tags, how to write it for IDs, how to write it for classes, right? And how many types of CSS are there, internal, external, inline CSS, right? All the so many properties and how to write those values. Okay. So all these things you might have understood properly. Okay. CSS syntax is the same for anything. Okay. It doesn't really change. Only the attributes and values or properties and values might change for each and every tag which you're using. But all the other things will remain the same. See, the complete CSS page itself will be like this only. Okay, there are no hard and fast rules inside this. You just have to follow this syntax, and that's enough. Property colon value semicolon. Okay, put that in a tag or a class or a ID and enclose them in curly braces. That's it. That's it for CSS, right? Yeah, this is all about CSS, and I hope you enjoyed this today's session. Okay. Any questions if you have, you can absolutely contact me. Okay. In the comment section below, please do comment in the comment section below, and do submit your links if you're creating any web page using these elements which you have learned so far, and this style which you have learned so far. Create a few web pages about yourself, write about your hobbies, and you can submit that. You know how to put images now, you know how to style the elements now, right? For image also you can do the same kind of a style, right? Like you apply the same style for, like we are doing it for the input, right? You apply the same style for image, that also works. Okay, so if you want I can actually show that. So let's write break tags, img tag. We know img doesn't have a closing thing, and we need to provide src, right? Let's get the image. I don't know, I'm so choosy, right? I mean, I'm picky. So okay, I think yesterday we have used this, and we could actually get the small link, right? So let's not waste any more time. So I'm just not being choosy today. I just want this to be here. And here itself we can write width and height, right? If you're not specifying it here, you can also specify it in the style. We know how to write it here because from the yesterday session you wrote it. But here I'll show you how to write it here in CSS. So for img tag you're styling, so img, then I'll just copy and paste this thing. The height I just gave 30, right? So that's why. This is how it is. Okay. And let's you can change anything whatever you like instead of dark green if I write red, absolutely fine. Okay, this is the ridge border. If you want to take another border, let's suppose solid border, refresh this. You can see this is the solid border. Okay, it doesn't really have anything, right? Then solid dotted dashed inset is there. Inset, I will show you inset. This is inset. Okay, you can see almost looking like the ridge thing, but the thing is, it doesn't have that 3D kind of effect, right? And we have outset also. I will show you outset. See, outset is this color was here and that color was here before, right? And now it's like this. Okay, this works. I mean, you can see inset and outset properly on buttons basically. Okay, there the difference is visible actually, but in fact, for an image, it's not that good and working fine, right? There is groove border also. I will show you that groove also. This is groove, almost like the ridge thing, right? So it has a 3D kind of effect, but these things work on buttons well, right? So you can style your button in the same way, in fact. Okay. And yeah, this was all about our today's session. Hope hope to meet you so soon again. So, you know what you have to do until then, right? Please do go back to my channel, watch all the videos, right? And if you have any questions or concerns, you can absolutely comment in the comment section below. Okay. And yeah, you can create these web pages and submit them to me. Not only this, you also can use your creativity and do more and more on the web pages and all, right? So yes, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, Folks Hub. I'll be meeting you all guys in the next session. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Bye bye and have a great day.